Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or to all you insomniacs who just turned this on because you can't get to sleep, and surely LP's voice will help. Happy middle of the night. Whenever you're watching this, glad you joined us. This is our Monday update, and we do have three topics kind of like normal. And the first of those is a time change, a new time for our second service. Kind of how we're titling this is 10:30 is the new 11. We're going to move up our second service on Sunday mornings to 10:30 from 11 o'clock. Now, we're just trying this for the time being, since we're not having Sunday school altogether in between our morning services. We are moving up our 11 o'clock service to 10:30. And the reasons for this are, just kind of a couple of things. One is hopefully put it at a little bit more advantageous time of day for folks, since they're not coming to Sunday school. You start something early in the day, well, then you're here at church from 9:45. You stay for second service. But when we don't have Sunday school, then it seems like 11 o'clock might be just a little late in the day to start something. So we're going to try it at 10:30. And also then that the folks who help us in both services, and including our staff, of course, that makes them a little less downtime in the middle, where we're just kind of sitting, waiting on the next thing to happen. It's a very interesting time in church life, and so we're just going to give this a try. And the expectation would be that we'd go back to 11 o'clock just as soon as we can have Sunday school all together, and nobody really knows the time frame for that, but we continue to evaluate those things. And just want you to know and want you to be part of our second service. For those of you who attend, want to get this word out as many times as possible that this Sunday we are going to start at 10:30. We hope you'll join us. If you've never joined us before, we would invite you certainly at 8:30 or 10:30, and that's kind of our number one thing today. Number two is to remember our youth mission trip. Right now, our students are out at Callaway Hills, and they're helping with some physical projects, some painting, some groundwork outside. I think some flower beds and some mulch, weeding, maybe a tree being removed. But they're helping out serving at Callaway Hills this week in our mission trip. That's really a trip close to home. Be in prayer for them as they work, but also there are four churches, three communities participating in our mission trip at the same time. So there are projects going on in Fulton with First Baptist Church Fulton working those, and then projects in Mexico with Genesis Church and Centennial Baptist Church working at those. And then each evening, they will all be together for worship. So pray for our students. The mission trip is a big deal in the life of our students. It's a fun time for our students, but it's also a time where God works in super meaningful ways in our students and in our youth ministry. And so be in prayer for them. Our team, I looked at them today. I think there were 8 or 9 of our students headed out to work, but we'll see that for sure. And a couple of leaders. And so regardless of how many there are exactly, we want you to pray for them. And of course, tomorrow night, Tuesday, you can join us for worship at Union Hill. All of the mission teams will be here for worship, and that starts at 7:30. And you, our community and our church, are welcome to come to that worship service here at Union Hill. We'd love to have you. Again, that starts at 7:30. And then finally, our number 3 item is Vacation Bible School. It is almost time to say yes to VBS. And if you've been here with us before, we got a great song for that. I'll spare you singing that today. But it is time for our volunteers. So if you'd be willing to help direct traffic, because this year our VBS is kind of different in that we are having a drive-through VBS. And so we'll have a story outside, probably set up on a flatbed trailer. We'll have worship kind of the same way in a different area of our parking lot, and you'll get snacks and you'll get a craft to take home and do as you drive around our path. And so that starts on the 26th of July, Sunday evening. And if you're coming through, moms and dads, we would like you to know that you can start at 6:30 or at 7:15. And of course, if we fill up, there's only so many spots we can fill, and then people see So you can will you can wait in the beginning of our line if you get here a little early, or if a spot fills up, like at 6:30. If it fills up, then we'll have another one at 7:15. We encourage you to come and be a part of VBS. It is very different this year, but we're going to still do the things that are important. We're going to talk about what the Bible says about how we should believe in Jesus and how we can follow him in our daily lives, how as children we can learn more about Jesus. And we would love to have you come through. We know it's very different, but we would love to have you and your family come through. And you Union Hill folks, we need some folks to help, like I said, directing traffic, handing out those crafts and snacks. We have some folks lined up to do story. We might need a couple more storytellers or groups who would be willing to act out a story. And of course, we need tech help. We need worship leaders, folks who will run that worship rally. And so if you are willing to help and available that week, we invite you to get a hold of Christy Smith or get a hold of us here in the office, and we will send her your name, and we can find a job for you to help us that week. Again, that starts July 26th and goes through that Thursday. I think that's the 31st, but you'll have to check the calendar to make sure of that, because I'll get that all messed up. But it's Sunday. Our plan is Sunday through Thursday. Of course, we're a little dependent on weather, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Sunday through Thursday night is our plan. VBS, you come and drive through. Different story and worship will be a little different each night. So just like regular VBS, the idea is you come all 5 nights and you'll get the whole program. So we hope you'll join us for Vacation Bible School, and hope you, as Union Hill Baptist Church, will volunteer and say yes to VBS. We'll see you again soon. Hopefully, we'll see you this weekend in our services.